We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has ordered the suspension of the PhilHealth premium rate hike. The PhilHealth premium rate was originally scheduled to increase from 4% to 4.5%. Based on the Universal Health Care Law, PhilHealth is set to increase its premium rate by 0.5% every year, starting in 2021 until it reaches its 5% limit in 2025. However, in a memorandum signed by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, the President has directed PhilHealth to suspend the increase in light of the prevailing socio-economic challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. He said the suspension should be subject to applicable laws, rules, and regulations considering the welfare of Filipinos during these difficult times. Authorities said damage to infrastructure and agriculture has now reached an estimated amount of almost 1.38 billion pesos following flooding and heavy rains due to the shear line. In its latest update, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, said infrastructure got the biggest chunk with over 1.137 billion pesos worth of damage, while the cost of agriculture loss is pegged at over 245 million pesos. These are in Mimaropa, Bicol, Eastern Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Northern Mindanao, Davao, and Caraga. More than 5,000 houses were also damaged in various regions. Meanwhile, 13 out of the 51 reported fatalities were confirmed, while 16 individuals have sustained injuries and 19 were reported missing. To date, over 150,000 families or close to 600,000 individuals were affected by the weather disturbance. Meanwhile, the Department of Health said the daily average of new COVID-19 cases decreased by 39% from December 26, 2022 to January 1. The latest case bulletin showed from 813 daily infections recorded from December 19 to 25 last year, the number declined to 494 in the recent week. It also showed 3,458 new cases and 164 verified deaths. To date, the Philippines has 12,660 active COVID-19 infections. Meanwhile, almost 74 million or 94% of the country's target population are vaccinated against COVID-19 as of yesterday. Around 21 million individuals have also received their booster shots. In other news, Catholic devotees who wish to pray and light candles for Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI are invited to visit the Manila Cathedral or the Minor Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. The cathedral has opened the Christ the King Chapel for those who want to pay their final respects to the late former pontiff. Manila Archbishop Cardinal Jose Advincula opened the chapel late Saturday. This was hours after the Vatican announced the passing of the former pope at the age of 95. The public viewing for the late former pontiff at the St. Peter's Basilica began yesterday. Meanwhile, the funeral mass will be held at St. Peter's Square on Thursday to be followed by his burial at the crypt under the basilica. And that is the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and on Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change.